need to look at it.
It's Christina. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a new video, but this is not a pregnancy update. This is actually a labor and delivery story because I did have baby Nathan. This is Nathan right here. He's about 40 days old now. I had him on October 3rd, so I had him on Monday. Today's Friday. I can't believe he's here. It came so fast. He came in less than an hour, which is still pretty crazy. So on Saturday the 1st, I actually turned 39 weeks, and I meant to get a video up for you guys, but I was just like, no, I think I was busy that day, so I was like, let me do it the next day. Well, Saturday night going into Sunday, I did not sleep well at all. Couldn't sleep. I was very uncomfortable, and it kept feeling like he was uncomfortable inside of me. It was almost as if like he was pushing my belly, pushing out on my belly, and like his back was arched, and it was like it was hurting me. So like I couldn't sleep well, and I kept having to go to the bathroom, and yeah, I didn't sleep well. Sunday I felt horrible the whole entire day, so I was like, you know what, I'll just do my video Monday. So Sunday night into Monday I slept a little bit better, but I remember I kept having to get up and go to the bathroom because I was feeling the same uncomfortableness that I felt on Saturday night. I thought if I kept trying to go to the bathroom, it would help because then my bladder would, then it would empty my bladder and he would have more room to be more comfortable. Finally, around like 5, I noticed that I could not sleep on my left side, and I always got good sleep during my pregnancy. The left side was really the only side I could sleep on, and I would just have like the best nights of sleep. But like sleeping on my left side, I was getting so much pain, but it was just this uncomfortable feeling. Like it was not contractions, it was nothing like that. I was having a lot of pain on the bottom of my stomach. Like it felt like there was a lot of weight on the bottom of my stomach. I'm just like, why do I feel like that? So I kept having to go up to go to the bathroom, and eventually the bathroom stopped working. I mean, like me going pee, like that didn't work anymore. So I noticed when I would get up, I would feel better. So I kept trying to walk around, but then I'm just like, I'm gonna eventually wake up Bernard. So I was like, let me just try to sit down in bed and just wait it out type of thing on my phone. And eventually I did wake up Bernard, and I'm just like, I'm fine, I'm just really uncomfortable. Then I just told myself, just go downstairs. So I go downstairs so that way I can actually sit up, because I felt like that was the only way I was comfortable and this pain was going away. Just watched the news, and I noticed that the feeling came back real quick. I was like, okay, let me stand around, let me just walk. So then I kept like swaying my hips. I'm just like, all right, let me sit back down. And then as I'm watching the news, you know how the news has a clock, I noticed that this was happening every 3 minutes. And I'm like, wait, am I in labor? Are these contractions that I'm feeling right now? I remember that, like, I remember starting to pay attention at 6:30 that they were coming so frequently. And I'm just like, I heard Bernard get up to go to the bathroom upstairs. I'm just like, all right, he's awake. Let me just go tell him that I'm having a lot of pain. Well, from me going downstairs, going upstairs to my room, it was hard for me to even tell him, like, without me like bending over. I was like, I'm having a lot of pain, we might have to go. He was like, all right, well, we need to figure out what we're gonna do with the kids, because at our hospital, like, it can't just be the mom, the dad, and the kids in the room. Like, if your kids are there, someone else besides the dad has to be in the room. But we didn't want them there anyway, just because like that's pretty traumatic. So we were like, all right, like, let's figure out who's gonna watch them. But the thing is, like, it always depended on when I was gonna have this baby, who was gonna watch them, because everyone works and everyone has their own lives. So I called my mom, and she was like, you're in labor, aren't you? I was like, I think so. I was like, I'll go to your house. My mom lives about 15 minutes away, and then I'll just go to the hospital. Well, this is me, like, I'm able to talk at the time, and I'm just like having these pains every couple minutes. So I knew that I was gonna go to the hospital, but I was fine. So then I noticed, like, as I'm trying to get dressed, like, it's hurting me more and more. It's like going up the stairs like did something to me. So it hurt to get dressed, and I remember just like trying to get dressed, like, and every time I get a contraction, I would just like bend over, like on all fours, but me leaning on something and just like stomping and just like, oh my god, like I was just moaning and screaming the whole time. And we just like rushed out the door, and I was just in so much pain. I remember calling my mom back on my way to the hospital, like, I can't meet you at your house, you have to meet me at the hospital, like I'm in too much pain, I can't talk, gotta go, bye. I only live about maybe 8 minutes away from the hospital. It really just depends on what slow person is in front of me, but I would say about 8 minutes from the hospital. And I just remember being in so much pain, just grabbing onto that handle and like, oh my god, I kept punching things. And I did that with all 3 of them. Like whenever I'm in labor, I just like scream and just like punch things. Like, I don't know, I felt bad for my kids because they're watching me in this pain, and they're just like very quiet, like they didn't know what to say, they didn't want to know what to do. We finally get to the hospital, and it hurt trying to get out that damn door, walk into the hospital. And I remember I was just like, oh my god, like as I'm trying to get out the car, and Jordan was like, it's okay mommy, you're gonna be okay. It was the cutest thing ever, but I felt bad that they had to watch me be in that pain. Of course, when I go to the hospital, the childbirth center entrance was closed. I had to go through the emergency room, and the emergency room does connect to the childbirth center, but there's this long hallway and it's a big slope. And going down that slope, oh my god, it hurt so bad because remember the bottom of my stomach was hurting, so with every step it just hurt more and more. So my boyfriend just like, he didn't know what to do. I mean, he knew what to do, but it was just like funny, like looking back on it, like him trying to say like, my girlfriend's in labor, can you help? Like, so the security guard, he did a good job. He rushed me up to that labor and delivery floor, got me in that wheelchair, and we rushed through like all these back hallways. He got me upstairs, and by the time I got to the elevator, I remember feeling like I'm gonna throw up. And I'm thinking to myself like, oh my god, like am I that close? Like I remember, because I got sick, I did throw up with my other 2 when I was in labor, because my body is just under so much stress that like I just throw up. Or I'm nauseous, I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna keep this to myself, because the security guard is gonna hate me if I tell him that I'm about to throw up. Like, who wants to deal with that? I get up to labor and delivery, and they take me to triage, and I'm just like, why? Like I never had to go through this with my other 2. And she's just talking to me like, how far along are you? Like, I'm not in labor. Like, no, I'm having a lot of pains, I can't talk, get me in a room. I don't know, that was like the only person out of everyone in the hospital that I did not like the first lady that I came in contact with when it came to labor and delivery. And I was just in so much pain, and she was like, get undressed, put this on. I was like, I can't, I'm in too much pain. Like I tried to get off my shirt, but I started having a contraction so fast between me getting my shirt off and my pants off, I could not finish taking off my pants. Like I don't even know if I got the gown on all the way. I don't remember. My kids were in the room as I'm trying to go through all this. They're trying to strap me up to these monitors, and I'm like, no, like take them off, they're too tight, I cannot take it, take it off, take it off. I remember I was so pissed that like they put that, like she was like, they have to be on that tight. I'm like, no, they're too tight, get them off. And I was like screaming, like, and like, oh my god, it was just too much. They had to take my kids out the room, and they're just like, is someone coming to pick them up? And we don't know where my mom is, or like someone's on the way. I couldn't get my pants off. Someone had to like take my pants off for me and check to see how far dilated I was. And I don't know who this lady was, because she wasn't one of my doctors. She checked me and she was like, you're fully dilated and your bag of water is bulging. And they're just like, we gotta go. I just remember that lady who checked me ran out that room, and they put me, I was already on the stretcher, and they had to wheel me to labor and delivery room. They made me get onto the bed, and the first thing that I started thinking was like, I have GSB, which I never got to say because I never got to put that in my 39-week update. But GSB is group B strep, and I was positive for it. It's nothing dirty or anything like that. It's just a bacteria that your body has. Some people have. About 25% of pregnant women get it, and healthy women. It's not contagious. It's nothing that you can transfer from person to person, nothing like that. The only thing about it, and the reason why they check you, is because you can pass it to your baby. And I was like terrified of it, especially after seeing videos on YouTube and just like Googling it. Like, Google is the devil sometimes. I remember like seeing someone's labor and delivery story to where they were saying that like their doctor told them, as long as you get to the hospital within 4 hours, as long as they put an IV within 4 hours of having the baby, you'll be fine. Well, I was fully dilated and my bag of water was like bulging, about to come out. And I think that's why the bottom of my stomach hurt so bad, because the bag of water was right there. So yeah, they like try to put an IV in me, and this is no swatches on my hand. Like, they blew one of my veins. Now I have a big bruise on this arm. They were trying to, like, I just had one person like taking my blood on this side, someone trying to put an IV in the other arm. They have my legs wide open. They're like, I'm screaming for an epidural at this point. Like, I'm like, I can't take this. I want my epidural. I want an epidural. And they're ignoring me because they know that I'm not about to get this epidural. And then finally, like, I asked for it so many times. They're just like, sweetie, you're not going to get one. You're too far along. You're about to start pushing. I'm just like, oh my God. And I don't even remember where Bernard was. He wasn't next to me. He had to deal with my kids and figure out where they were going to go. They had to go in a separate room. And I had already started pushing and Bernard still was not in the room. Like, that's how fast everything was going. I just remember like me coming in that room and like 15 people following me in that room. Like, the people for the baby, the people that have to enter me in, my own doctor wasn't even there. Someone else delivered my baby. And they were like, we have to pop your water. I'm just like, no, like, I don't, like, I want an epidural. And just like, it's real quick, it's real quick. I seen the yellow stick and it, like, I'm screaming like in pain, but I was never crying. Like, I felt like I was crying, but I know that I wasn't crying, but I was just like screaming, and they hated me for it. Like, I don't think they like when people scream, but it's like, I was just in agony. Like, it hurt so bad. So once I popped my bag of water, I remember feeling very relieved. It was like, I was still in a lot of pain, but then popping my water, it felt, a lot of the pressure went away. Like, that pressure that I was talking about at the bottom of my stomach, that's why my stomach was hurting so bad, and I think that's why it felt so awkward. But I was still having intense pain because now I could really feel the contractions. They were like, you have to start pushing. Like, between them popping right after they popped my water, I had to start pushing. Like, it was just so crazy how fast this went. And I never pushed, like, actually pushed and felt it. Because before, with my other two, I had epidurals, and with 3 pushes with them, those babies came right out. This baby did not come right out, and I felt once I felt its head, I started freaking out. But so I'm like, no, I can feel it. This hurts. I was screaming, and they were like, you have to breathe. They were like, with all that you're feeling, you have to just take that and push with it. And they were like, go hee hee hoo, and I did it. And I caught myself, I'm like, no, that doesn't work. Like, I was so mad that I even did it. I actually ended up like popping a blood vessel in my eye. You can't see it because it's on the top of my eye from pushing so hard. And I remember like they didn't even really talk to me. They mostly had to talk to Bernard because I was just in another world. And they were just like, has she ever pushed? Like, how did she push before? Because I was having a hard time pushing him. I mean, it didn't take that long. It only took 5 to 6 pushes, but it just felt so much longer than with the other 2. So they're like, we could see all his hair, like push, push, push. And finally, like, he came out and I felt so much better right away.
I don't need to inherit it.
It felt so much better once he came out, and I didn't even notice them taking out the placenta this time. Like, they did it so fast, and they were like, you didn't tear. I'm like, yes, 3 babies and I didn't tear. Like, I remember just being so happy about that, and I was so happy once he was out. But yeah, he came at 7:54 in the morning, so I was not even at that for an hour, because I remember calling my mom at 6:50. I think my phone said it was 6:57, and that I was on my way to the hospital, so almost an hour. We did decide on the name Nathan. If you've been watching my channel for a while, then you would know my 20-week update when I found out that I was having a boy. I almost wanted to name him Saint. Baby daddy didn't like that, so we chose the name Nathan, and we chose the name Nathan within like the last couple of weeks of me being pregnant. And then the day that he was born, we just kind of decided Carson. Like, we had joked about it because someone from the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, he's their new quarterback, I want to say. So we would just joke about it, like, oh, let's name him Nathan Carson, or well, he was talking about naming him Carson, but I don't like the name Carson like that, not as a first name. So we decided Nathan Carson. I always wanted my kids to sound like athletes, so Jordan is Jordan Amari and Nathan Carson. Like, to me, they just sound like athlete names. Like, I don't know. Don't mind me. So yeah, he was only 6 pounds, 12 ounces. I kind of knew that he was going to be that big. I thought maybe 7 pounds. I didn't think he was going to be 6 pounds. But I was just all baby, and especially how picky I got towards the end. There were some days, like, I really wouldn't even want to eat dinner. Like, the smell of foods would really, like, it was like the first trimester all over again. Not that it made me, like, sick, but, like, I would just be very, very picky with food. He looks just like my other two as far as, like, when they were first born. They all look the same, but a lot of people do say that he looks just like me. I do feel like he does favor me more than my other two, just because his lips are exactly like mine, same shape. That thing that I have above my lip, I don't know what it's called, I forget what it's called. His eyes are just like mine, and he has the same head shape. But that nose is definitely daddy's. Babies change so much when they're first born, so we will see what he looks like. If you follow me on Snapchat, then you've seen a few snaps. And yeah, overall, like, as far as, like, postpartum, like I said, I didn't tear, I didn't have much bleeding, I didn't have much cramping. I still do have cramps, but I think it's because lately I've been doing too much. Like, as soon as I got home, I just felt like I could do whatever I want. But my body will quickly tell me, no, you need to slow your roll, you need to slow down. Like, you can't drive, and I haven't, but I've just been, like, trying to clean and go up and down the stairs, and it's just, my body has told me, just relax. Nathan is such a great baby. All he really does is sleep and eat, but he doesn't sleep through the night, which I kind of already expected, because when I was pregnant, he would always move the most at night. He was always the most active at night, and during the day he would not be as active. And I'm like, watch, this baby is not going to let me sleep. And I was correct. He does not let me sleep at night. I feel like I really haven't slept since last Friday night, so I really haven't slept in a week. So I feel like I try to hide the bags under my eyes, but I've been pretty beat. I am breastfeeding Nathan, and that has been an experience because I did not breastfeed my other two kids. With Aaliyah, I did try, and I remember having difficulties, but I don't remember why. I just remember she wouldn't latch on. That was like 8 years ago. So with Nathan, when I first delivered him, he did pretty good, but then I remember the second time that he went to feed, I had a little bit of trouble. But the nurses at the hospital, they were so helpful, and of the 3 pregnancies, like, the nurses that I had this time, they were absolutely amazing. They were great nurses. They all just were super helpful. Like, I never felt like I was bothering them. I just loved every single person that I had. But they would not, like, let me give up as far as breastfeeding. They actually gave me what is called a nipple shield to help me feed him. So the reason why I'm having trouble feeding him is because I don't have flat nipples, but I don't have long nipples either. They're definitely more on the smaller side, and he will, like, if I try to feed him myself without the nipple shield, he will latch and he'll begin to suck, but he'll stop. He'll, like, just stop completely. So with the nipple shield, it helps bring the nipple back to his mouth and helps him suck more, and he gets way more out of it. I just have to pump afterwards. So the lactation consultant did say, because technically the nipple shield is supposed to be temporary, like, it's not supposed to be a permanent thing, but she said if that's how he's gonna feed, then just do it. But I still should keep trying to get him to latch on to myself. Like, eventually he's gonna learn, and it's gonna become natural to him, even with the way that my nipples are. So I still can't believe he's here and just how fast everything went. I'm so happy to finally see him and see what he looks like. He's so precious, and he's such a great baby. And yeah, I just can't believe it's finally October. This whole journey went by pretty fast, and I'm just trying to take every moment because this is gonna be my last baby. I'm not having any more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will get back into the swing of doing videos. This is my first one with him here, but I do plan on filming another video tomorrow. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. I'm I'm actually going to be doing a review on the High Smile Teeth Whitening Kit. You've probably seen Kylie Jenner talk about this on her Instagram and a bunch of other bloggers.